Still needs more time. What's up, guys? Andrew here on my channel, Gear Inc., where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. And my channel, that's PC Tech, Games, and Gear. Today, we are talking about Intel Arc A770 GPU. Finally got some benchmarks for you guys. Now, remember, I am giving this GPU away. If you haven't entered that giveaway already, it will be down in the description. But let's jump right in. So as far as the bench for this, I essentially used my i5-12600K, 32 gigabytes of DDR5, along with both the A770 GPU and NVIDIA's 3060 Ti, which it directly competes against, for a comparison as far as when we're talking about the hardware. All the games ran at high except for Call of Duty, which was ran at ultra because it doesn't have a high setting, weirdly. And that is to put as much burden on the GPU as possible so it can really see the overall performance of both of these GPUs. Now, full disclosure, this was a video that was going to take a day. It took 3 because I've done nothing but troubleshooting. I'm going to go over kind of all the things I ran into while doing these tests, but let me go over the games that I got to work. Originally, we had 5 games that I was going to test. I had to whittle that down to 3 again for technical issues, but the first game I want to show you, because it was by far the most stable, I think, was Halo. So Halo Infinite gives us a baseline of just pure rasterization performance for the 3060 Ti versus the A770. Now, this is at 1080p, and both of these GPUs performed very well. We're getting over 100 FPS easily on both of these, but NVIDIA's 3060 Ti simply does better. And again, I'm going to go into why after this video. I didn't have any crashing on this. I know that some people have had a terrible experience with Halo with these new Intel Arc GPUs. That just wasn't the case for me. As you guys can see, performance was steady across the board, FPS was consistent across the board, and it didn't matter which GPU I was playing on. I had a good overall experience regardless of which one I was using. And so in this title, I'd give both a thumbs up, although obviously NVIDIA did outperform it. Moving on to the next title I tested is Chivalry. Now, I specifically chose this one because while it's also a game I enjoy, it's something that supports both the DLSS and XESS for the GPU, and that is essentially something I wanted to test. In terms of pure rasterization, performance again has a delta of about 20-ish%, and it's one of those things where, again, it's not that it ran bad on either system. You can see that in terms of pure FPS, this was pretty great. Like, we were still getting a very good experience overall. I wouldn't put either of these GPUs down. When I turned on DLSS and XESS, I honestly got better performance on both systems, but again, NVIDIA kind of takes the crown, at least with this current setup. And I am going to talk about a bunch of things on why these results are the way they are, because I've seen situations and videos where Intel handily beats the 3060 Ti, but that wasn't my experience, but I kind of know why that is. Now, the last game I want to show you that I was able to test side by side was Call of Duty, and I'm going to explain a few things. So first off the bat, NVIDIA crushed the Intel GPU in this. I mean, from watching this side by side, you guys are going to get an idea of just honestly how far ahead NVIDIA's drivers are in terms of these game support. Now, I was a little disappointed because Intel recently released some new drivers that basically added support for this game specifically. But when we switch over to DLSS and XESS, it's not even close. The performance jump you get from the DLSS currently is just makes NVIDIA such a powerhouse, specifically in this title. There's a really big goalie between the performance differences in these GPUs, and this is obviously on a more modern title that's supposed to be better optimized, at least with the most recent updates. Now, the 2 other games that I did test that I wasn't able to show was Fortnite and Darktide, and I wanted to do those because Fortnite's still one of the highest played games there is, and Darktide is a notoriously bad optimized game, at least in its current iteration. But they wouldn't work. Both games would launch, but would not run on the Intel Arc GPU, and that's something that I want to really dive into on this comparison. I have seen videos of the Intel Arc GPU beating the 3060 Ti like consistently across these same suite of games. However, the newest driver update, which is supposed to re-optimize things, would not work on my system. I spent days trying to troubleshoot this, trying to get everything to basically work together. I just couldn't do it. I had to roll it back to the previous driver, but that meant that I was giving up performance. Intel has an uphill battle because obviously these GPUs, I think they actually made quite a few of them, but they've had a hard time moving them. I don't think that it's one of those things where if you're brand new, you would go out and buy one of these. These are definitely cards for people like me who have technical experience. You're more of a tinkerer. You want to support the competition, and that's what I really want to talk about. This GPU is by no means bad. Aesthetically, they did a fantastic job with these reference cards. They look absolutely fantastic. Like when this thing was all lit up, I was a little bit kind of sad that this is going to be a giveaway, but I'm glad that somebody is going to be able to enjoy it. However, one of the things that they are going to run into, and you're going to run into, are these type of quirks. The A770 is completely capable of competing and beating the 3060 Ti. In terms of pure hardware performance, it has what it needs to do that. Now, you should never buy something on the promise of better performance in the future. You can only make a choice off what you have right now. So if you were going to buy this GPU, my recommendation would be not necessarily don't, but only buy this if A, you want to support competition in the market, or B, you're okay dealing with the growing pains for the potential upsides that Intel has to offer, like their new AV1 encoder that's going to be coming out for OBS support. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, I'm giving that GPU away, so enter that giveaway if you haven't already. If you like this video, leave me a big thumbs up. If you thought it was terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember to get subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. I actually had a lot of fun making this. It just took far longer than I wanted to, and I wasn't able to do nearly the amount of games I wanted to because I just ran out of time trying to get the dang thing to work. But hey, that's new technology for you. Everybody enjoy your holidays. I'm going to have another video coming out here real quick, but I hope to see every single one of you next time here on Geared Inc.